Sarabjit Singh, son of one of the assassins of former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, declared his candidacy for the upcoming Lok Sabha elections in Faridkot, Punjab, as an independent candidate. Despite being a 12th class dropout and having faced defeats in previous electoral bids, Sarabjit has decided to heed the calls of many residents of Faridkot, urging him to contest. Well, his father, Beyan Singh, was involved in the assassination of Indira Gandhi alongside Satwant Singh in 1984, a tragic event that left a lasting mark on Indian politics. Beyan was killed on the spot while Satwant faced capital punishment. Sarabjit's political journey includes unsuccessful attempts in the 2004 Lok Sabha elections from Bathinda and the 2007 Punjab Assembly polls from Badaur. Nevertheless, he persists on his political ambitions, representing an intriguing and controversial figure in Indian politics, carrying the weight of his family's history while navigating his own path. What does this mean? What does this tell you about modern day politics is also something that we're going to discuss with our esteemed panelists. Joining us on the show is Surinder Singh Lali, international affairs expert. He also keeps profound knowledge of Indian politics. DLS Channi, BJP spokesperson, also joins us on the program. Mr. Manasvi Thapad, political analyst, with us on the program as well. Gaurav Sandhu, senior Congress leader from Patiala, will be joining us momentarily as well. Mr. Lali, I'll begin with you. Well, this gentleman's candidature and, the stark and dark history which surrounds him and his family has not deterred him from pursuing politics. What does that tell you about India? What does that tell you about politics, rather? It's a loaded question, but I'm positive you can answer.
Thank you, Vineet. It's such a pleasure and honor to be here. And what does it tell me about Indian politics, and especially the quintessential Punjabi, is that they have the fighting spirit in them. This side of the fence or that side of the fence. Vineet, my issue is more to be perceived in the future because he's already made a statement that he wants to take up the sacrilegious case and the Beban Kallan case. Now, Vineet, Punjab has paid a very big price. According to the Human Rights Watch, more than 20,000 people were killed during the conflict, which included, roughly 12,000 civilians and 1,714 policemen. Now, why am I saying this? Because with the kind of agenda the family has been known for and the kind of issue he has started to even flag even before, being elected into power, I don't think Punjab can deal with that because we're already suffering. The state is in deep debt. Pakistan is, waiting for any opportunity to get back to India through Punjab. They try and disturb that. China, which is also sitting on the other end, and they've changed 30 names in Arunachal Pradesh and uses Pakistan as a proxy state foreign policy, so that even China also sort of enters the Indian political discussions, not only through Arunachal but through Punjab too. So my concern is that the way Punjab is being governed right now, the party of which they have a chief minister, their national convener is behind bars. There is already a tug of war going on within Punjab where the super CM of Punjab, Raghav Chadha, has been missing in action in England. And I'm not too sure if the current Chief Minister of Punjab is competent enough because he and his party are already in the dock for not refuting, over a few crores that they have gotten from, Pannu in America. So what I look at is that this could be, again, something that, Houston, we could have a big problem if the likes of him get elected because I don't think we can afford that being a border state. And the way Punjab has been locking horns with the center, I think we need to be concerned as an Indian citizen, as a Punjabi Sikh myself, being the sword arm of India. We need every time, most of the times India was invaded through the north. Even 1947, it was Punjab and Bengal that happened. So we have been on the front as recent as 75 years. So I think with the likes of these people, if they are elected into power, we could have a big problem.
Manasvi, what do you make of this entry? This guy obviously has for the lack of a better word, a contentious past. His father was involved in the killing of the Prime Minister, serving Prime Minister of the country, and there is a very good chance that he could be a member of Parliament or an MLA in the future. Is this a precedent that must have some sort of repercussion in terms of the laws that surround it?
Hi, Vineet. I think it is not something which is new with the family. I think his mother, Bimal Kaur, had contested election from Ropur in 1989 and she won that seat. 2004, he started his career to fight an election in Bhatinda and he got around 1 lakh plus vote. 2007, he fought an assembly election from Bahadur. So he's fighting there since the family has been fighting since 1989. 2014, this particular person fought an election of Fatehgarh Sahib, and this time he's fighting from Faridkot. So now the understanding is they have been fighting. There is no particular seat he's eyeing, but he wants to be in news. He garners vote. What is his vote bank politics? What does he want to do? That is something that is uncertain as of now. But the spirit of fighting comes from mother. Since 1989 was the first time from the family after the assassination from 1984 of Indira Gandhi, that election of 1989, she fought and she won. And this particular person has been fighting since 2004. So the point what comes to my mind is he's fighting there. So, and people are also voting for him. It's not that he's getting 100 or 200 odd votes. He's getting votes in lakhs. So there is a vote base for him. He's gathering votes for himself, and could be a day that he can actually convert that vote share into convert that particular seat for himself. That could be a day. That's not a long due thing. But my whole point, what comes to my mind would be, you cannot judge a father's deed from the son's deed. If that is something, he's doing something unconstitutional, he's something doing anti-national, that's a different thing. But Constitution does not refrain him from fighting an election. So since he has a history, we will always doubt his electoral conduct. We'll always doubt he may come out as a wrong parliamentarian, but we may also be wrong on that particular front because he's coming from an history. His father assassinated Indira Gandhi, so that comes on the mindset part of it. But he could be a completely different person. That's completely irrelevant from the political discourse which is going to happen right now. But the reality is there is no bar, there is no refrainment. People are voting for him in Punjab. People voted his mother into parliament. So I don't think this is much of a big play there. We cannot judge a person until he comes to power, until he is there in the parliament. Only then we'll come to know his conduct. But as of now, he's not barred by the Constitution. He's not barred by the Representation of People's Act. So like all the candidates, best of luck for him. That is what we can say.
All right, Mr. Gaurav Sandhu, Senior Congress Leader, is joining us on the program. Mr. Ramakant Gaur, lawyer, Supreme Court, also joins us on the program. Mr. Ramakant Gaur, I'll begin with you, sir. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Well, it's a free country. It's a democracy. Anybody who deems themselves fit to run for office can. But this person is obviously, carrying some baggage that deals with the assassination of perhaps one of the most famous prime ministers and leaders the country has ever had, next to Prime Minister Modi. Are there any laws surrounding this kind of an entry into politics by people of this succession?
See, this may not be barred by the law. But what are the credentials of this gentleman? A 12th dropout? Are we really looking at some politician who will be administering the district or the state, who will be serving or contributing his services? What would be the acumen? Punjab is a state which is not only developing, it has developed to a great extent. It has great economy. Now, how a person who has not attained the appropriate literacy, what would he contribute? He may have a baggage. He may be successful or unsuccessful in creating the vote bank for one party or another. But what can this person contribute? are we really looking up to the people like him who are not able to understand, gather the political economy, the issues relating to, because every administrative issue or the policy related issue has something or another relating to law. A person who has not attained some degree or some degree of education, he may not have equipped with educational degrees, but as a matter of fact, what would he do and what would he administer as far as the state of Punjab is concerned? So that's a bigger issue which needs to be considered. This baggage may not be impacting him.
Okay. Mr. Gaurav Sandhu? Well, the Congress party doesn't object to this person contesting election, but Mr. Gaur makes a very important point. You know, the hygiene when it comes to politicians in terms of their education and their background is not to be seen in silos. You know, in order for them to serve the people, they should understand systems through the lens or the prism of education.
Yeah, I'm agree with Mr. Gaur that on the point of politics, the person should be well educated, and he should know the matters of the state, issues of the state that he can raise in the parliament. You're talking about Mr. Bittu. He was MP for, I think, 3 times. And what goes in his favor in past that he is grandson of late Chief Minister Sarabjit Singh, a veteran Congress leader who gave his life for Punjab, to save Punjab, and what I can say, Mr. Bent Singh, he was the only CM at that time who thought for the people of Punjab. And what Mr. Bittu, during that time, he only got votes on the name of Congress and on the name of his grandfather, Mr. Bent Singh. Otherwise, he don't have any ground in any city in the Punjab. So now it shows his selfishness and his opportunist that he have been given what we can say lalach, jisko bolte hain, that you will be made minister in the parliament. So he switched to BJP. So people of Punjab, they are well educated and they will teach him a lesson in these elections in 2024. And take my words, he will come on number 3. He is hopeful to win. Even he won't be able to win his seat. He will not compete. He will be number 3 on this seat on Ludhiana when the results are announced.
Okay. Mr. Sarvan Singh Channi, BJP spokesperson, also joins us on the show. Mr. Channi, thank you for being here with us. What do you make of this entire plan by Mr. Sarabjit Singh to run for elections? Obviously, apart from the tainted past and the baggage he has, the important question that we are trying to address is he qualified, and is this the degree or the level of politicians that the country or perhaps the state of Punjab deserves?
It's a democratic right of every citizen of the country to contest. And there are a few of the conditions that he has to be the citizen of and so many others. And anybody who fulfills those conditions has certainly a right to contest election. This is what is being granted, having been granted by the constitution of the country. So there are no parameters that one has to be a postgrad or maybe double postgrad or a grad. But the people do evaluate any such individual, whether he's competent enough, he knows the issues enough, he knows the people enough, he's moving in the society enough, and whether he will be the right candidate to be elected. And it's a multi-cornered contest, maybe 4-cornered, maybe 5-cornered. And people will have multiple choice before they vote, and they will definitely analyze who are the best people, which is the best party, which is the best candidate, and they will vote. But there is no such legal objection for his candidature, and his legacy may be any, but he's not the criminal, he's not the culprit. Maybe his father was, and again, it's a matter of interpretations also by different communities, different courts and all. But I don't think there's any bar in his contesting the election, and people will evaluate everything, and the voters of the country is far, far wiser than maybe all of us put together, maybe all the political parties put together, maybe all the candidates put together, because you see the mandate being given on different questions, and there is almost a unanimity in the electorate when they elect, at one point of time they elected Rajiv Gandhi. Now they elected, Honorable Shri Modi ji once, twice, now it's thrice. And this time the number of the seats of the BJP and NDA will be more than, 400. And there are cases where even the killers of Rajiv Gandhi have been, forgiven by the Congress elite family, and they say that we have no revenge, we have nothing of that sort. But whereas in case of Punjab, against the killers of Sarabjit Singh, the family has different reservation. But the killers of Rajiv Gandhi have been, totally, forgiven their crime.
Right. Mr. Lali, how do you think this is likely to play out when it comes to the politics in the country? Obviously the Congress party is okay with it. Constitutionally, there is no harm. But the fact of the matter is that this still reek of some sort of a remnant against the Congress party, which perhaps exists in Punjab.
Vineet, yeah, while he's, of course, the gentleman is well within his right to fight an election, and but if I was to use my rationality and my prudence, I mean, the estimated debt of Punjab by 2024 would be 3,47,000 crores. I mean, a state which used to lead India, where is it now? I mean, we missed out the industrial revolution bus because there was terrorism in Punjab, and how many Apples and how many Teslas, or how many Hyundais that have gone to Punjab to put up industry? None. Now, what bothers me more is, again, I would be maybe exceeding my brief in talking about the gentleman in question, because he's well within his right not to be taken for granted or assumed or presumed on. But now the next big thing in the world is the artificial intelligence revolution. I mean, what would be his level of intelligence? What sort of communication would he have? What sort of perceived value would he have for the larger interest of Punjab? Because the brick and mortar businesses are pretty much out the window. And as it is, with the farm laws, they have been locking horns with the center, which is right, which is absolutely their prerogative. So my only issue is that the baggage he gets, and if I do my maths, I think Punjab needs much more literate and competent politicians who don't come for the agendas of using purely religion, but they have to talk about development, because it's all about economy. I mean, look where is Punjab as compared to Gujarat or Maharashtra. So my only limited concern is that, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed because Janta Janardhan hai, they probably know what they would do. And, it's none of my business to exceed my brief and comment, but I'm a little scared. And Punjab being a border state too.
And you're absolutely right, Manasvi. Mr. Lali makes a compelling point that, when it comes to Punjab, the selection, or rather the people who are going to be chosen to run it, have to keep a number of things in mind. It's a border state. It's lagged behind. It's had a gang problem. It's had a drug problem. There are a number of other issues with the parali that is taken up every year. It's important to basically categorize. It's basically important for the Janta Janardhan also, the term that Mr. Lali used, to be educated, to select educated people to run them.
Can I make one more point? One brief point?
Go on, please, go on.
Vinith, if you see, I mean, by default, we the Punjabis, not only from this part of the world, but from the other side of the border, we really like to go to Europe and America. And a lot of them have gone. Now, I see another problem because on my last trip to the United States, I saw the way artificial intelligence is replacing the kind of menial jobs, people who settle their lands and go to Punjab. You know, they pay through their nose to go to places like Canada. And those jobs are also going to get further replaced by artificial intelligence. So can you imagine the plight of these individuals who have obsession for these Gora lands, and you sell your property and your mother's jewelry and go there, and then you realize that you have nothing much to do, and maybe by the time you have to come back, that's even difficult because Punjabis are full of pride, so they wouldn't want to come back that easy, even if I have personally seen people in Austria and America in minus 25 degrees selling roses and, you know, gasoline, which is fine, that is dignity of job. But India is the country to be in. There's great opportunity, and the opportunity is to be in sync with the center and to be a part of the artificial intelligence revolution. That's how simply I look at it. Thank you.
Manasvi, go ahead.
Vinith, I think the topic of the day is not artificial intelligence, but the electoral of this particular person. And talking about this, I think geographically, Punjab is where it is there. We have been knowing about this situation since we got independent. We know Pakistan is there. We know China is above us. We know everything. But does that, the question what comes to my mind as a lawyer would be, does my constitution bar a 12th pass or a 12th fail or a 10th pass or a 10th fail from contesting an election? On the contrary, when I look into my Lok Sabha, present Lok Sabha, 33% of my Lok Sabha candidates have criminal records. So do we have a bar? No. Are we proud of our qualifications of parliament? With a heavy heart, I would have to say, no, I'm not proud of my parliamentarians in terms of education qualification. Look at my first parliament of India. Look at their education qualification and look at the present Parliament of India and look at their education qualification and do a comparison. It's not about this particular individual. It's about all in toto. It's about everyone there. So when Mr. Gaur makes a point, it's a valid point. Parliament has to delve into laws. They have to discuss policies. They have to discuss laws. And you have to be qualified enough to understand it. And also when Mr. Singh talks about the changing world with artificial intelligence, blockchain being there, digital currency being around, all these things are there. But do we bar it? My question comes to my mind would be a 12th pass or a fail. Does my constitution bar it? Yes. To be an anchor like you have to struggle and you have to go to the field. And today you are where you are. To be a lawyer in the courts, I have to study, I have to clear my exam, then I become a lawyer. But to be a parliamentarian, to be a doctor, you have to do so many kinds of studies, then you become a doctor. But to become a parliamentarian, you may not have to do any of these things. 2 months in 5 years, you have to just go to the people, talk to them, garner votes, and you are there in the parliament. So this mode can be questioned. There is no limit on who can be a parliamentarian in terms of education qualification. There has to be something, but the reality is, as of now, we don't have it. With the changing times, something which is not changing is the electoral politics in terms of qualification of people. Everything has changed, but this particular thing has not changed. So this is what is also going to, these are right questions, but do we have the answers now? Are the same politicians who are supposed to make laws, are they going to bar themselves from entering the parliament? I doubt that sincerely. This can only happen when educated people like in the country comes out and talk about it and people vote for them. And right now, what is the voting strategy? जो भी जिस area का बाहुबली, and when I say बाहुबली, is not someone who is having the best of the minds, the intelligent ones, nationalist people come in politics, but Bahubali, muscle power, people power, money power, whoever are they get into politics. And whichever ideology you may go there, but end of the day, what do the political parties see? That how many votes can you gather? They don't see that what kind of person you are going to bring in the parliament. This is the harsh reality. And that is what we all have to deal with. And until we change as voters, until we, with this debate, I'm very happy that the kind of positive outlook we are trying to create, that we are changing, India is growing, and we need to have the best of parliamentarians. The best of minds should come out and discuss about how we take India to the next level. And not only next level, the world is looking at us. We would be the leaders for the world, and the parliamentarians have to be the best of the people. The 543 people have to be the best people in their region and should talk about the best of India. And this can only happen. I'm not in favor that an uneducated person cannot bring value to the table, but I feel some kind of education is always helpful in terms of discourse, discussion and debates. That is a must.
Absolutely right. And Mr. Ramakant Gaur, so in fact, you made this point that education is a must for a politician, and the reason why this person should not be, in fact, putting his foot into the door of politics is because he's not educated. But, this kind of a critique can be made for, conservative effort or estimate for 70% of the people who are running our country.
Unfortunately, yes. And that's the reason the country suffered. Jayalalitha was not appropriately educated. We saw the corruption charges touching the floor. Rabri Devi, an illiterate, she ran the show of the state. What did we see? All of us have witnessed what happened in Bihar. Bihar is the land of bureaucrats, which was run by an illiterate. Let's not forget this. Pulan Devi, she was a parliamentarian. What was her contribution to the country? If we look at Vatal Nagaraj, now if we look at Gulma Devi, who is the MLA from Rajasthan, an illiterate. Now, if these people are coming to the fore for ascertaining the policies or for implementing the policies, then we will not see the development. Now, when Manaswiji has spoken about the qualification and the present level, the qualification of the present level of the dispensation today, if you look at Ashwini Vaishnav, you look at S. Jaishankar, Piyush Goyal, our finance minister Sitaraman. So all these people are quite qualified. When we talk about India's development pace today, why is it happening? Because it is being led by the apt leaders. They may not be very good or effective politician on the floor, or they may not be earning enough votes. In fact, Mr. Arun Jaitley lost, but he was the biggest manager of the affairs in BJP. So he might have lost, but education plays a vital role.
I agree with you. And education...
You cannot expect this kind of administration when we talk about India leading into $1 trillion economy.
But sir, there is also a saying that, it's sometimes the blind end up leading the blind, and that's exactly what happens in a number of areas of our countries as well.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.